Union Cabinet has approved one nation, one election proposal of a high-level committee headed by former President Ramnath Kovind. Today, we have with us Supreme Court's senior advocate and former ASD Sidharth Luthra, sir. Sir, let's talk about the constitutionality, the legal hurdles this one nation, one election thing could face, sir.
So the point is this, it will need an amendment of the Constitution. And to my mind, theoretically, and if we go back practically rather, the concept of elections was that it had to be simultaneous elections in assembly and center. In fact, today, if you note, states such as Andhra Pradesh go to assembly elections along with the center. And that's a matter of practice which has been followed for a very long time. Having said that, because of regional changes and because of other historical imbalances or issues that have occurred, this concept of national and assembly polls happening at one stage had gone. The objection to it does not seem to be so much legal, but the objection to it seems to be more on a practical or a political standpoint, and that is the prerogative of those who espouse such objections. What we have to see is, as a nation, should we always be in election mode? Because somewhere or the other in this country, election is happening. Now, the election happening has two parameters. One, the fact that elections happen means at different places, at different times, that there is a code of conduct, which means the functionality of government is reduced at different places for different times of the year. So that's something which is important to aid governance. I think one nation, one poll will be important to aid governance. Will it impact the federal structure of the country? I really don't think so. We're a quasi-federal country. And I don't think that will impact. Will it have a political impact? I'm no expert, so it's hardly my place to comment on it. But to my mind, in terms of practicality, in terms of most convenience to the citizen, to the voter, elector, and least inconvenience in terms of cost, because each time you do the electoral process, there are two costs involved. One is decision making is kept on hold, policy decision making, and secondly, the actual physical cost of having that infrastructure in place to carry out the election. So I think both ways, I'm hopeful that we will end up having one nation, one poll.
You talked about the federal nature, like quasi-federal nature of our country, the way constitution functions in this country. So in this regard, especially, how it is going to impact the federal polity?
I think the belief is not about federalism, but the belief is by certain political parties that the voting patterns may be impacted by this. But let's understand one thing. Indian voters are sensitive and sensible enough to decide who they want to vote for. Right. It is not necessary, as you will see in state elections, which even happen simultaneous or contemporaneous to central elections, to the elections to the Union Parliament, that the same party will get elected both in state and center. So that's not really necessary. And in a lot of states, we do have essentially a regional party which holds root, and the national parties, whether it be the BJP or other national level parties, let's say the Congress, they don't have as much of a presence. So how can it really make a difference to the federal structure of the country? I think it's more about personal concerns about which way the votes will swing.
You have very holistically covered everything. Thank you very much for connecting with NewsX and Indian News. So this was senior advocate and former ASD Sidharth Luthra speaking with NewsX on the issue of one nation, one election.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.